Well, the title of this video is pretty cheesy, but I did it on purpose to draw your attention, so please bear with me. I started to play this game quite a while ago, almost since it was released, and when I saw it I was just amazed about the graphics, physics engine, and it was about World War II tanks. I'm quite passionate about tanks and the ability to drive Tiger T-34. It was I quickly fell in love with the game. I also noticed that the game was very competitive. After a few hundred games I noticed that some players could turn definite defeats into victories. They were able to literally carry the team and do impossible things. So I started to learn about this game. I started to learn how they do this and what's it all about, and I realized that it's really competitive game. People really want to work as a team, and there is something on top of just individual performance. I really fell in love with the game, and soon after that I decided to set several goals for myself. The first one was to cross 60% win rate mark, and I quickly did this, but the second goal was a bit larger. So the idea was that I decided to be a tank collector. I decided that I will research and buy all tanks in the tech tree and all premium tanks, and all those tanks would be fully equipped, fully loaded, and ready to play anytime. And on top of that, I will ace all of them. So that was my ultimate goal of the game. And when it happens, I could safely say, well, game over. But of course, wargaming constantly adds new tanks. So this is a stretch goal. It would be always extended, and extended. So the game would remain interesting for me. Unfortunately, at some point the game started to change, and those changes were not good. First, wargaming introduced very strange camouflages. They added soccer-themed camouflages for FCM-50T, like TT and Zizu. So the tanks now look like soccer balls. And just look at the section of premium camos for proper tanks. You will see very strange, very bright, completely out of this world skins for the tanks. On top of that, they added completely fictional tanks. Some of them from animes, some of them I don't know who, designed by who, such as Ice 3 Defender with Tesla engine. I mean, it's really strange. And that O-47 tank, they hired some Japanese guy that was working on various technical stuff in animes to design the tank, and it looks like space battleship from animes created in 70s and 80s, and by now that design looks very strange. But anyway, there are quite a few tanks which are completely out of the picture, which just shouldn't be in this game in the first place, but they're here. And the problem is that every time you get into the game, you almost always see one of those tanks, either fictional tank or some tank in completely strange camouflage, and it really kills the atmosphere of the game. It doesn't feel like World War II game anymore. I know that some people reply to this that, well, what do you expect? It's a game. We have I don't know, adrenaline, like tracks could be repaired in seconds. That's not real. But you know, those things are about game mechanics, and they don't change, they don't affect the atmosphere of the game. And when you see a tank which looks like a soccer ball, that completely destroys that feeling. So the game was spoiled for me, and I don't like what was going on. I was complaining about this, but Wargaming continued to introduce more and more and more of those strange camos and fictional tanks. But I still had competitive gameplay, and I still had that stretch goal to assemble the full garage. But soon after that, Wargaming introduced missions. And missions essentially kill the competitive gameplay. You see, initially there were just x2, sometimes x3 multipliers, XP multipliers. And people were not very excited to log in into the game, to start game like every day and get those x2 and x3 multipliers. But with the advent of the missions, there were much more rewards to complete those missions, because now you get free experience, you get credits, you get certificates, you get some boosters, and you also get spare parts. So missions became more and more valuable, and more people started to play the game to just complete those missions. I was feeling it by myself, so I just ought to do the mission because I needed those spare parts. And as a result, people are not waiting until they are really in the mood to play the game. They were not waiting until they have good connection to be able to play the game. They were not thinking to help their teammates and to work as a team. Their only goal was to quickly play the game now, to complete as much missions as possible, to get those rewards. And as a result, people don't play competitively. You see, when I have a mission to capture certain bases in Supremacy mode, when I have a choice to help my teammates or to capture a base, I would ignore my teammates and I would run to those bases and I would try to capture them to complete the mission. So how's that for the teamwork? And yeah, the competitiveness of the game just started to degrade and it became much worse. So I became very frustrated with Wargaming about those changes, but I was holding on to my last goal, to assemble full garage and to ace all the tanks in the game until July 4th. On that day, Wargaming started a new event, and one of the prizes was a new premium tank, T-28 concept. In order to get this tank, you had to acquire chests and open them, and the prize wasn't guaranteed. So I spent $50 on those chests and I got nothing. And at this point I realized that I probably won't be able to get this tank. How much more should I spend? Several $100, several $1,000? I'm not ready to throw that much money into the game. And I realized that I can't do this anymore. There was previous event with chests, and the prize was Amex CDC, but for some reasons I got it pretty early, and I thought that it was kind of aberration, and I hoped that it won't repeat. But now it was the same event, and I was just not meeting my budget, and I was thinking that no, I'm not ready to spend that much money on this lottery with the chance to win this tank. So I realized that I can't complete this goal, and that was a very sad moment. So what should I do now? Well, I will continue to play this game. I would try to ace the remaining tanks, and I would acquire new tanks. I know that French tanks are coming, and there are more tanks in the tech tree to acquire and to ace. So I would continue to capture nice games and post them on this channel. But I also decided that from this moment I completely cut off my spending on wargaming, on all the products made by wargaming. Yes, I won't spend a penny on tanks, ships and other stuff. I will play this game for free now, and I actually strongly advise you to do the same thing, because honestly you could play it for free. Just do the missions and you will get enough credits and experience and certificates, so you don't have to buy premium time. You also don't have to buy premium tanks, because now you could use gold to premialize certain tanks you like, or you could complete events and get some tanks for free. So basically you could play this game for free, and you don't have to spend real money on this game. The economy is broken, which is pretty sad, because I don't know what wargaming is trying to do with Blitz. With broken economy, the only way the Blitz could survive as a game is if it would be a larger advertisement for World of Tanks on PC, but still it doesn't look like a healthy future for the game, and at least for its development. I don't know how things would evolve for Blitz, because at this point the game looks completely broken for me. It's not designed well, it doesn't have healthy economy, it's not competitive anymore. I don't know, I will still play this game, but it's not the same. And again, I won't be spending any money on this game, and I know that there are many other players who are doing this and just also decided to stop paying to wargaming. Will change? I don't know. If they will hire some guy which really loves tanks, which is smart and passionate, who could clean this mess and turn game back to the original state where it was so good, maybe I will reconsider my position. But until now, I'm done. I'm not spending any money on this game. So here it goes. Goodbye wargaming.